Hello, my name is George Brown. Welcome to my presentation for funding and marketing in sport and enterprise. So today I'm going to be looking at Streetwise Sports Club. It's a small not-for-profit organisation which is run by the council. It's at Westview Leisure Centre, which is just outside the centre of the city. It's for boys and girls aged between 8 and 14 years, and the activities involved are swimming, climbing, football and multi-sports. The staff members include 3 qualified coaches, 5 volunteers including myself and 4 leisure centre workers. So there's obviously not a lot of qualified coaches that are at the sports centre. So my project idea for the funding bid is effectively to gain more coaches, more qualified coaches for the sports club. So there's currently only 3 qualified coaches at the club. One of them in swimming, one of them in climbing, one of them in football. And then there's a total of 9 unqualified volunteers and workers such as myself. I effectively want to increase the qualified coaches at the club, which could therefore increase the validity of the club, giving it a more giving it a better quality of coaching and giving obviously improving the validity of it by having more qualified coaches there. So we're going to have more coaches which are qualified effectively, just increasing how well the club is run. It would provide more people with more opportunities, so it would provide the club with more coaches, provide the children with better opportunities for better quality coaching, and the coach has got a better understanding, therefore giving the children a better quality of coaching, and increasing. So obviously it will increase the coach's point of view, so the people who do take the courses will go on to be more employable, better employed. It will allow them to just have a better job in the future after they've finished working with the Streetwise Sports Club. I'm effectively going to be trying to provide 6 coaching spots and 2 for each sport. So I'm going to try and get 2 climbing assistants, 2 swimming teachers and 2 football level 1. The funding options, there were a few of them. So I've got the Living Sport, which is only up to £200 funding they give. So that obviously won't be enough, as my budget is 1,168 if I can remember correctly. So the Living Sport just won't cut the edge. We're not going to gain enough money from that to be able to send all 6 people to do all 6 courses. There's the Postcode Community Trust, which is anything over £2,000. So I looked at this and thought this would be quite a good idea. We can use the Postcode Community, but then I thought to myself, wait a minute, we've not got enough people to be able to put through to have over £2,000 worth of money come our way. So the Postcode Community Trust wouldn't do, as it'd be too much money. Children in Need is up to £10,000 for up to 3 years. I looked at this and thought this would be brilliant, because it would provide as much money as we wanted, as long as it was under £10,000. So it could be anything from £1 to 10,000. It was perfect for us. But the fact that it was only up to 3 years meant that in 3 years' time, if we wanted to look at getting more qualification or more funding from Children in Need, we wouldn't be able to, because of the just for clause that children in need apply really. And then Sport England, which it's between £300 and £10,000. This sounds brilliant. £300 is a nice starting point for some of the coaching courses. I mean, obviously £10,000 is way too much, but we'd be happy with whatever we got. The thing with Sport England was they wouldn't allow us because we weren't helping get people to be elite sport athletes effectively. Because we were just at the low end with 8 and 14-year-old children. We weren't allowed Sport England because we were so low down the pecking order really. So Biffa was between 10,000 and 75,000. Again, this was just a bit too much for us. So 10,000 was just too high. We couldn't just go that far because we don't need that much money. Then the big lottery fund. Overall, they would do between 300 and 500,000. Looked at big lottery fund and I thought brilliant. I know there's lots of different funding opportunities that big lottery fund provide. They provide the awards for all and the reaching communities, which are both two I looked at. The awards for all provides £300 to £10,000, which on hindsight looks brilliant. Looking at that, that's awesome. And the reaching communities was a lower limit of £10,000 and there was no upper limit, which again, £10,000 it's not a good starting point. And then I looked at UK Sport, which has no upper limit or no lower limit, which is brilliant. It could be from £1 to £5 I could fund. So the problem with UK Sport was we weren't a profitable organisation, so we could not. They wouldn't allow us to do game funding from it. So the application process, I decided to go for awards for all. Obviously because it's between £300 and £10,000, I thought this is brilliant. I can get everything that I need from this. They only go for charities, not-for-profit organisations. We ticked every single box at Streetwise Sports Club. It was just perfect for us. And it's split into 6 different parts, which I'm going to go through. So part 1 is about the organisation. This is the application process itself. So the different parts the different parts of what I went through to go through the funding process effectively. So we had to tick a load of boxes to start with for to be applicable for the funding. So there was a big list of criteria that you had to meet, including sort of what sort of organisation you are, who you like presenting to, who's going to be gaining from the organisation, all sorts that we had to adhere to, which was perfect for us. And then there were 6 different parts which we split up, which I split up and I'm going to tell you about. So part 1 was about the organisation. So that effectively took the name of the organisation, the type of the organisation, all sorts of different details. We've had a website, the bank details, like any sort of recent accounts that the sports club would have encountered. It took my details as I was the one making the application, and the senior contact, so basically the head of Streetwise Sports Club. And then part 2 was about your project. I basically just had to tell the Awards for All programme what my project was about. So I had to say what it was wanting to fund, and when it will take place, where the beneficiaries are based. So as the beneficiaries would be based at the Streetwise Sports Club, I'd say where the project would take place. So as I was gaining coaching qualifications from the funding, I had to research all the different sort of money used for the qualifications, what it would cost, where they were based. So in Manchester, in Preston, and in just outside of Preston, just down from Preston. And effectively, so I had to sort of put the postcodes in and tell Awards for All where it would be happening. And then I had to tell them the cost implications of each different course and how many of those courses I wanted to take. And the overall was £1,168 that I would be gaining from the funding. So part 3 is the difference your project will make. So basically this part was asking why it was needed, evidence shown. This was asking me to type out all sorts of details about how, why, where, all the sorts of details about the project and how it would benefit everybody, and evidence of how it would benefit that, and how it would involve a wider range of people as possible. And another question was about the chance the project will make, and then that was split into 2 different sections about how people have better chances in life and how people have a healthier and more active community. So I had to describe how the funding would basically benefit all that, and then it asked us if we were working with under 18s and told us what they expected from us as we were working with under 18s. And then part 4 is a beneficiary monitoring. So that was effectively asking me if the beneficiaries, so the people involved with the sports club, the children that attended, if they came from an ethnic background, if they were different genders, age, disability, religion and sexual orientation. The only one of those that we sort of hinder is the age, as we have an age between 8 and 14. And then part 5 is finishing my application. Obviously I just had to go through confirming that I had sort of done all the application, ticked all the boxes, signed all the letters, all this sort of stuff. Cross the T's, dot the I's, that sort of thing. And then part 6 was sending me application. It was just telling me effectively they would prefer it by email, but they'd take post, etc. And then the progress report is effectively, I've gone for Awards for All. I completed my bid on Thursday the 23rd of February. So I completed the bid and I'm just waiting to hear back from it. And Awards for All take 4 months to assess the bid, look at it, mull it over and then tell you if you've been accepted or declined. So 3 months time I'm hoping to hear back and hopefully we'll have the funding. If not, then I'll just have to reapply for the funding, speaking it over with more people, and then I can effectively gain better funding for the Streetwise Sports Club. And that is the end of my slide. Thank you for watching.